Welcome to Trade Pro. In this video, I'm going to give you the 8 best discount entry methods that will help put you into trades at the best possible prices. This is essential learning material that, when mastered, will be game-changing to your trading results. So now let's get into it and discuss method number 1. The first method is price action symmetry within a consolidation, which often forms into a channel. It is important to have the overall trend direction in mind when using any of these methods. So the goal here is to enter at the bottom of a downward sloping channel in the context of an overall uptrend, or in the context of an overall downtrend to enter at the top of an upward sloping channel. Now let's take a look at a few examples of both buy and sell setups. Here are another couple of examples of these symmetrical price action channels where you can get a discounted entry at the lower side of the channel. Now let's take a look at some sell setups. Here's one sell setup, and here's another example of a sell setup. Now let's move on to the next discount entry method. The second discount entry method is hidden divergence. In a downtrend, you would look for price to be making a lower high while an oscillator makes a higher high, like outlined on the chart here. This is called a hidden bearish divergence. The idea would be to expect another lower high and then lower low out of the trend when this appears. Now here are some examples of hidden bullish divergence, where in an uptrend you'd be looking for price to make a higher low while at the same time an oscillator makes a lower low. The expectation here would be to expect a higher low and a higher high out of the uptrend. Now let's move on to our next discount entry method. Method number 3 is looking for sweeps on highs or lows of a consolidation depending on the direction of the overall trend. In a downtrend, if you have a consolidation, you want to look for price to sweep the high of the consolidation before the real move is going to continue the downtrend. This will stop out a lot of people who were already prematurely short, giving you a great discounted entry above the highs of the consolidation in the context of a downtrend. Now, let's take a look at an uptrend where we can look for sweeps on lows of the consolidation. Here's an example in an uptrend where we're looking for sweeps on lows before the real move takes off. As you can see, we get a push down, followed by a move to the upside for a lower high, and then another push down to sweep the low, another push up, and then another move down to sweep the low once again. The anticipation is sweeping of lows to clear out stop losses before the real move begins. And this specific setup I actually posted in real time in my Discord group. You can check out links in the description down below if you want to check out the Discord signals group. I don't charge for access, but I do ask for use of one of my free affiliate links to one of the trading exchanges that I have to get access. But check out the links in the description down below. Message me on Twitter if you want access to this group. But anyway, let's get into the next discount entry method. The fourth discount entry method is something everyone knows about: trend lines. Using a trend line can give you a discounted entry in the context of a trend, but it is recommended to combine it with other factors as well instead of using trend lines as a standalone option. Now let's take a look at an example of an uptrend before moving on. Here's that example of an upward sloping trend line in the context of an uptrend. Now let's move on to our fifth entry method. The fifth discount entry method is using exponential moving averages to look for an area of value when price pulls back in the context of a trend. So for example, I have a 200 period exponential moving average on the chart in white, a 50 period exponential moving average in yellow, and a 20 period exponential moving average in blue. When price pulls back to these EMAs, often there will be a reaction or even a full trend continuation from the EMA that you have on the chart. So often looking at these as an area of value when price pulls back to them does result in a good discounted entry where we have a trend following move out of it. So any of these EMAs works as an area of value and can be utilized with your trend following system. Of course, you want to utilize multiple factors and not just one thing. So don't think that you can just enter purely based on touch of an EMA and have a profitable system right away. Here's an example of an uptrend where we often see price continues its trend after pulling back into the EMAs. So often they will act as an area of value, so you can kind of see it as an opportunity once price has pulled back into the EMAs. Now let's move on to our method number 6. Method number 6 is regular divergence. In this instance on the screen right now, we are looking at regular bearish divergence, which is when the price makes a higher high, but at the same time, an oscillator makes a lower high. This can be done on a multi-time frame approach or can be used on the main time frame that you're looking at, but make sure that you're using regular divergence in the direction of the overall trend, which is why in this downtrend, I'm looking for only examples of regular bearish divergence. In an uptrend, you would want to look for instances of regular bullish divergence. So let's take a look at that example. Here are some examples of regular bullish divergence in the context of an overall uptrend. You can see we have lower lows on price, but at the same time, the indicator makes a higher low. You can see it again over here with the indicator making a higher low while price makes a lower low. Now let's move on to our 7th discounted entry method. The 7th discount entry method is the Fibonacci retracement. And this one is extremely common, but can be useful. The idea here is to draw the Fibonacci retracement tool in the context of an uptrend from the low to the high of an impulsive move in the trend's favor, and then look for price to retrace on a corrective move to at least the 50% retracement level, and then looking for a discounted entry below that 50% retracement level. So we would be looking for entries below here on this move, this correction. Then we have another impulsive move and a correction where we could look for entries down here. Another impulse correction where we could look for an entry down here. Impulse correction below the 50% level, looking for that entry. And finally, this example here, looking for that entry down here. So looking for a discounted entry below the 50% retracement level of the Fibonacci retracement, drawing from the low to the high of an impulsive move in an uptrend. And let's take a look at some downtrending examples. All right, in the context of a downtrend, looking for pullbacks to at least the 50% retracement of an impulsive move. So if we take a look here, we can draw from the high to the low of an impulsive move to the downside in the context of a downtrend, and then looking to enter a short above the 50% retracement level of that impulsive move. So it could be looking in this area for this next move down, and then we have that next move down for a lower low. On this next pullback, we can then look for an entry here for the next move to the downside. And we do it all again for that move, looking for an entry right here above the 50% retracement, and again move to the downside, lower low, and then looking for another lower high right up here above the 50% retracement of that move down. So Fibonacci retracement, looking for lower highs and lower lows, retracements to at least the 50% retracement level. Now let's move on to the final 8th discount entry method. The final and 8th discount entry method is an ATR channel, where in the context of an uptrend, you can look for entries at least the -1 ATR level. So for example, the -1 level is this line right here. So when price has pulled back to it, this would be your entry area, trying to get a discount entry into the context of an uptrend. So I'll just mark all the times when price does come down into this area, and often it ends up being the best entry opportunity to be getting into the uptrend. So -1, -2, -3 ATR below an exponential moving average. Okay, so these are all of the opportunities presented in this uptrend to get in as the ATR channels allow it, if following that rule of entering at least once price has pulled back to the -1 ATR in the context of an uptrend. So great discount entry method for Such a simple indicator. Let's take a look at a downtrend. Now let's see how well the ATR channels can work in the context of a downtrend. The idea of a downtrend and using the ATR channels is entering when price has pulled back to at least the +1 ATR level, which is this line right here. Okay, so let's mark out all the times when this strategy would allow you to enter. So first one right here, price pulls back over the +1 ATR level here, pulls back into +1, +2. Next time we have that is right here. So entering above this area, another one right here, or another two right here. We have another opportunity to get into a short here, 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 and over here. And if you noticed, all of these times happen to be pretty much the best opportunity to be entering into a short as possible. So this is in fact a valuable indicator that can be utilized as a trend following method to get in at a discount in the context of a trend. Now that concludes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Those are my 8 favorite methods of getting into trends with a discounted entry. You can combine multiple of them to have a really solid system that will keep you profitable in the long run. Over 10 years of trading experience, these are the ones that I have decided are worth putting in this video that I think pretty much anyone can utilize and really benefit from as a trend following trader. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Make sure to like and comment if you want to support the channel. And if you haven't, check out my links in the description for my Discord group.